In a video not too long ago, I unboxed some Temu packages, and I've done it again. Well, one very big bag, one medium-sized bag. I know you enjoyed it last time we did it, so I'm going to get these open. I'll share it with you. We're going to start off with this medium bag. There's going to be a big mixture in this bag. There is a lot of resin stuff in there, but there's also quite a few craft stuff in there as well. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag today. In this one is little charms. I've got a project that I want to do for one of my family members, and this is just perfect. Little DIY tools, little screwdriver, little hammer, little pliers, tape measures, gloves, you name it, we've got it in there. There's a little paintbrush there and a little drill. Not sure why it's in a separate packet. Maybe it's a little bit better quality. I'm not sure why it's in a separate packet, but there you go. What's that one? Oh, it's like a little spade or a trowel or maybe a plaster shovel or something. A little saw. It's even got the little teeth on it. Look at that. How cute. So proper miniatures in here. This one isn't painted on the other side, and I plan on putting these so it can actually be seen from all sides. Obviously I'm going to do some painting on these as well, so we'll need to have a look at what actually takes on these little charms. I won't call them charms, there's no actual eyelet. So that's the main thing I was actually looking for in this one, because I did order some little tools in the last Temu bag unboxing, and they had like little holes and eyelets, and they were exactly what I was looking for. So I might use these and a mixture of the others as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that project. That will be coming up very soon. What I'm going to do with anything to do with family or out like that, if I'm gifting it to friends or family who I know do watch my channel, I'm going to obviously gift it to them first and then show it on my channel being made. So that's number one. So in some of these packets they might be a bit boring, but they're all very relatable for crafts or resin. And this one is for sanding resin or whatever projects you're working on. I apologise for my voice, it's not doing too good at the minute, so if it sounds a bit rough, that's why. So we get loads of different sandpapers, and I just took some out to the side just to see which ones we've got. And we get in this, like I said, all these and some of these which I've already pulled out, and on the back it's, if I put it on the right way, it's Velcro. And I struggle to actually hold bits of sandpaper and stuff like that, especially for any length of time, and I just thought this would be a better idea to be able to hold on to and do the sanding. So hook and eye, or Velcro, whatever you want to call it, and we've got a 60, an 80 grit, 100 grit, 150 grit, 240 grit, 400 grit, an 800 grit, a 1200 grit, a 2000 grit, 3000 grit, is that 4000 grit, a 5000 grit, a 7000 grit, and a 10,000 grit. Reminds me of that no deal game where you've got like the left hand side, I don't even know if you have it in your country, but left hand side like rubbish prizes, the right hand side like your really good prizes, you need to get rid of them. Anyway, I'll show you what's on the back of that. Sorry, it's just while my brain's seeing it. So obviously the 60 grit is your roughest, and your 10,000 grit is your smoothest. You can just hear that on there. So there's plenty of different ones to go between. I will probably be more likely to use my Works rotary tool, like the Dremel type of thing, on the like the coarser ones, and then probably move on to these to, you know, do some finishing and polishing, and then finish it off finally with the rotary tool on a felt pad or with any compound. But these are wet and dry as well, which is something that you definitely need. I don't know why, but that feels smoother than that one. We'll obviously be giving it a go over the times I'm doing some projects, so if you want to see what they're like, then obviously please stick around and check that out. Like I said, it's got a nice little Velcro thing on the back. You could also hold this down and rub the piece on there as well, so it's up to you however you want to use them. But it's just a nice size to have around in your desk as well, rather than having great big sheets of sandpaper. At least then you can just, you know, have it to hand rather than having to go and search for it all. So yeah, might be a bit of a boring one, but not completely necessary. What's on next? Next is some more sandpaper, but a reason why I've got it in this size as well is obviously I'm going to do bigger pieces over time, so that's why I've just got the wider ones. This will be placed on my desk with a bit of tape on each side and just using the piece to actually rub on it. So yeah, exactly the same stuff, only it's not Velcro, and I don't think this one goes as high. Let's have a look. 7,000. What was the other one? I think it was 10,000. No. Yeah, 10,000 the other one. So this one obviously doesn't go as high, but I needed some, excuse me, I needed some that was a bigger size for any bigger pieces that I do. So that's some more sandpaper. Next we have a little mould. It's a little froggy. I don't know what happened to my accent then, but it's a little froggy. I don't know what accent that turned into. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so that's why I'm a bit croaky. Haha, croaky, get it? Frog? Yeah. Sorry, brain. Yeah, it seems like it's decent quality. I'm squishing it and it's coming back to normal. Don't see many issues with it. Seems like a really good quality one. It sits straight. It's got those ridges to actually keep it flat on your desk. So we'll have to see how cute he looks when he's been moulded. So the next few videos are going to be moving on to epoxy resin, because there's only so far you can go with UV resin, and I want to be able to do some deeper pours, but not too deep, just to start off with, just to see what I can do and what I can figure out and different projects that we can make. So yeah, he will be making an appearance in an upcoming collaboration, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the little bell, and then when my videos come up you'll be notified of all these little things that I'll use throughout all my videos in the future. Right, there's the little froggy that we're going to be doing. Next up we have another packet. Let me get this open so you don't have to hear all the crinkly noise. Oh, and we have some of these. Now I got these in a kit in a video that I unboxed. I did some UV resin with Let's Resin kit that you bought, and these was part of that kit. Well, some of them was, but I thought I'd like to have the rest of the colours, or some of the other colours, for me to do it, because they really did turn out pretty. Now these ones do look a little bit smaller. They're like iridescent flakes. The other ones seem to be more strips, if that makes sense. These are a little bit more smaller, and they also seem to have some very small amounts of glitter in the background. I'm really sorry about my throat. You're just going to have to put up with it like I have to. So yeah, I'm really pleased that I've got those through. So we'll be making some more projects with those, because they really do turn out pretty. Speaking of glitter, now I've bought these types of glitter in these pots before, and this one is black, and I do like a bit of black sparkle in some of the projects that I'm making, and I've only got a very small amount, again from that Let's Resin kit. You really should check that one out, because there's quite a lot of things that you do get in it for a really good price. Now this is just black glitter, and I thought what I ordered had a bit more of a colour shift in it, but this one is just black and it's black glitter. Don't know if to get it out and just show you. I use this thing for everything. Again, another Temu purchase. It's a knife. It's a knife blade. And I use it for lots of different things, but for things like this it's really good. Either just for starting it off or actually using it. Now the other glitters that I've bought from Temu do hold the glitter inside. It doesn't sort of spill all over. I mean, obviously if you've got it in your drawer and you're messing about with it up and down and whatever, it is going to fall out. But if you've got it generally stood up and it falls over, it doesn't seem to have too much of a problem. And what I like about these is you actually get one side which is like a pour, and the other side is a sprinkler. So you get both sides of those. But just to show you what it's like, I'm going to get myself a little bit of paper. I'll just show you what the glitter is actually like, because it is quite a fine glitter. It's not floating up into the air, which is good for me. I generally do have to use my nail dust extractor when I'm doing some glitters. I'll put a link for that up above so you can check that review out of that glitter. It's not super sparkly, but it's enough in there for it to give a bit of a sparkle. I'm not even sure if that's picking it up on camera, and it actually looks like black dust on the camera screen, so I'm hoping you are getting at least a little bit of the glitter sparkle from that. Right, before I get that all over the place, I'm going to put that to one side. Actually, before I do, I'll just open this up a little bit more and see if it actually falls out. So yeah, you are getting some bits, but obviously the lid's closed and I'm shaking it. You're not going to sit there shaking it with the lid closed. But it is another good alternative if you want a very small amount of glitter. You know, you can sprinkle it about like that with the lid closed, rather than, you know, practically pouring it on. So it does come out of the bottle, but if you're just knocking it over, I was going to say you're not going to get much coming out, but you know, there's not a lot coming out. It's definitely worth having it in them type of containers. Right, let me see if I can get rid of this without it being all over my desk. And I've shown this little contraption a few times on my channel, but anything that I get that I think is really good and really helps me out, even though it might have been several videos ago, I do like to sort of let you know and keep it up. So this is like a mini vacuum for your desk, and I find this absolutely amazing for these type of little accidents. It doesn't pick up I was going to say it don't pick up really big items, but I've had it where it's actually gone right across the top and it's actually doing, you know, keeping it in place. But this is good for these little types of messes. And it's got these little brushes on the bottom so you can actually agitate what you're actually picking up. So yeah, not from this haul, but definitely a good little pick up from Temu there. Next we have a bag. Oop, dropping it all over. So this is an epoxy resin remover. Now, as I've mentioned on this video, and I've also mentioned in a couple of other videos that I've had recently, I'm going to be trying my hand at epoxy resin. I go through quite a lot of gloves because I take them off as soon as I start getting sticky. I don't like even though it's not my own skin, I don't like the stickiness on my gloves while I'm trying to work with something. So I've seen some people use, not this particular one, but I've seen people use resin removers on their actual gloves. And I just thought, rather than changing gloves all the time, if this actually takes some of the resin off the gloves, then the gloves will last that little bit longer. So this just says epoxy resin remover, magical resin, mild and non-irritating. Obviously that's if you're putting it on your skin. It says at the bottom, bid farewell to dryness and hello to soothing, refreshing cleanse. So directions of use: wipe off or remove excess resin, apply a coin size amount to dry hands Rub hands together vigorously to ensure resin is washed away. Rinse with warm water and repeat if needed. So it's great for cleaning skin, tools, resin moulds, work surfaces and more. Works with uncured resins, glues, paints, epoxies and UV resins. So, it's not just for resin, it's for a lot of other different crafts. And the feature is gentle enough to clean most media without damaging surfaces or finishes, helping to extend the life of your tools and keep them in pristine condition. So yeah, I'm going to get that open and see what the smell's like, because the smell's quite important to me. It's got a little smell, but it smells nice. I just want to see if it's like gritty or not. Yeah, that's like a grit. You can feel definitely a grit in there. So you get to exfoliate your skin as well. Right, I'm going to wipe that off with a baby wipe and we'll see if that causes any irritation. Obviously it might turn a little bit red because it's got the scrub, but just to see if there's any irritation in there. We'll see how that goes. And I love the pinky pink colour, it's quite cute. And this is one of those lids where it's got a little hole in the top, so it's a flip cap and a little hole in the top. So that's going to be making an appearance. I don't think it's going to be the star of the show, but it's going to be making an appearance. Right, this next one. I bought 2 separate packages of this. These are diamantes, or fake diamonds, whatever you want to call them. Now one of them come in a big bag with lots of them in there. And you can see there's some very, very tiny ones there at the bottom. There's multiple different sizes and they go to the bigger ones up at the top. Whilst I was on there and I saw them, I also saw these. Now these ones were classed as the flawless imitating diamonds or something like that. It was basically letting you know that these were more of a quality diamante than the ones in the big bag. But I wanted to see if they did make a difference, because obviously if these are better, I'll be using these for singular projects, something where this is actually one of the main features of it. Whereas these ones I'll probably use to line the trays or something along the lines to give it a bit of sparkle. So I'm going to take one of the bigger ones of these and see if there's any difference. And try my best not to mix them up. Now there definitely is a difference, but it is only, it's not a massive difference. You can tell that is definitely a better quality one. Could do like a set of mini scales to show you the weight, but when I'm dropping that onto my hand, that one feels heavier than that one. And it does have a lot more clarity to it. It's definitely more shiny, like it is. There is a difference. This one feels a little bit cheaper than this one, but on the whole, if you were just looking at them, I don't think you'd notice a massive difference. This one's definitely got a bit more sparkle, but not to a point where if you're using it in, say, a resin piece, that it would make that much of a difference. If you was using these as a singular stone to do some costume jewellery, then I would definitely go with this one. So yes, there is a difference. I'm just hoping you can see the difference, so I'm just going to move it around when it gets in focus. Different lights, see if you can see a difference, and I'll get a little light here and see if you can tell any difference there. So yeah, this one sparkles a bit more, but none of them are sort of giving that reflectiveness that you get from like a diamond, for example, or even a cubic zirconia. But this one is definitely a better quality. It looks to me like it's actually got more facets as well. That might be what's giving it the extra sparkle. These facets seem to be a lot smaller and more triangular, where these are more of an irregular shape. I hope you can see that. I can't really give you more information on what I've said. So if we're putting them all together in a project, you can see all the different sizes. If you want to separate these into different sizes yourself, then obviously go ahead and do that. I just noticed this particular one looks really different on the desk. I don't know if that's because it's white, the desk. Let's put these on there. Yeah, it seems definitely the smaller ones have a better shine to them. Yeah, very pretty. I love myself a bit of a diamond girl. Just want to get some of these really tiny ones and make sure they're actually faceted rather than it just being like small bits of glitter. Yeah, you can see this. You can see the sparkle in them smaller ones for sure. I don't know if this is how it was packaged for them to all be at the bottom, or whether they just fell to the bottom with them being smaller than the big ones. But I'm not going to be hoovering them up. I'm going to be picking those up myself with my fingers in a bit, but I won't bore you with that. I'll do that off camera. Next up we have a mould. Now this is a coaster mould. I'm just going to get it out of the bag. Now I've bought a coaster mould from Temu before, which was the butterfly one, the one that I did in the fibromyalgia project, but it never did give me that holographic look. So I'm hoping that this one does. This one is a love art style one. And I'm hoping that this one gives better results. I will be ordering a holographic one from a company other than Temu. I don't know which company to order from. I don't know if anybody out there has had some good experiences with holographic moulds. If you have, please put them in the comments. I always love to hear recommendations from you guys. If there's a particular mould or a particular company that you know are really good with holographic moulds, I'd be really happy to know your experiences. But I do want to just test this out in a video just to make sure this holographic stuff is working. But if it does, that'll be a really pretty one to have a go at. Let's see what's next. Again, I'm opening two of these at the same time because they are pretty similar. They're not the same company or the same brand, but it's the same effect that I'm going for. And these are glow-in-the-dark pastes. So I've got these in the pink, the orange and the yellow, and I want to see if they actually glow in the dark. So I will be testing these out very soon. So if you want to see how glow in the dark Temu products behave, then make sure you're clicking that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell so that as soon as my videos get uploaded, you get to see them firsthand and make up your own mind on what these things are like. I like experimenting together. Even though we're not in the same room, I like to sort of show what I've purchased and other people to sort of say, well, have you tried this product, or this one works really well. So I'm always interested and keen to hear your input, so make sure you're sending me a comment of your recommendations, or if you've got any suggestions of how you'd like me to use these. If there's a particular mould that you've seen me unbox on this channel, I've done a couple of unboxings from Temu and other places. If there's a mould that you've already seen me unpack and you'd like me to try it in these, then let me know and we'll see if it does actually glow in the dark. So I bought them ones because there was 3 colours in the pack, but I also bought another one which is in one of my favourite colours, in a purple, and this one says on it, efficient luminous powder, glow in the dark luminous powder purple, and you get 20 grams of this in this little pot. They do look of a similar consistency and type of powder, Obviously you get a lot more in this one, but I just thought if these ones don't work, then we can try this one. And if this one works, then we can have a look at adding more colours from the same collection. So stick around. Again, ring that notification bell. It's really important for you to ring that notification bell so you get updated on when the videos actually get released. And then you can see what we're actually up to and make suggestions, and we'll see if we can build that community of people suggesting things and what is available, who's used what, that type of thing. I do have members on my channel now. I've got 3 lovely members. My membership starts at a really low cost. It starts at 99p. Yeah, that's obviously British pounds. I'm not sure of like the conversion rates, but it is basically the lowest amount that you can choose. And then I've got one that's a little bit higher for other perks that you might get. So check that out. You also get a shout out on my channel in the posts, and if I get a chance to do it in an actual video, that's where I'll do. So up to now I've got 3 members, like I said. I will link them in this, I will link their channels in this description box of this video so that you can go and check their channels out. But they're supporting me now with the membership, so if you want to do the same, I think there's a button somewhere around here that says join. I don't know for sure because it's only new to me really, so it's worth checking out what's available on this channel. So we'll give these a try in a project. I'm not sure which mould to use yet, so I might leave that in your hands. Right, let's see what else we've got. So next up we've got a couple of charms. Charms, I'm not sure if you can call them charms because they don't actually have the hole or an eyelet. These are little things that I'm going to be using in my projects that I've got plans for. Now, I did in my last Temu haul, I opened a bunch of different charms and things, and some of them was to do with a sea theme. So I've got some ideas of a project that I want to do. I saw these and I thought these are absolutely beautiful. So these are little shells. Unfortunately, they're all the same shape and size. I would like some variation, but saying that, I think 1 or 2 of these in a project would definitely be worth having. You've got some greens and teals and different colours in there, but the outside of it, it's got like a raised glitter area, so the details that are going across it and going across this way have like a glitter detail on them in blue. So there's plenty of different colours on there that you can see, sort of an iridescent kind of colouring to them, and I just really like them. Unfortunately the backs are black. Not sure what they're made of. It could be resin. They're quite hard, they don't bend or anything like that. And I'm not sure how many you get in there. I'll give them a count and let you know. So you get 21 in there. Bit of an oddball number, but 21 that you get in there. Next, again, for another little project to do with the sea, I've got this thought coming up of different things that is available for me to use, and I thought this was really cute. Even if I didn't use it in the project that I'm going to be using, I might actually use this for a few different things. So I might end up buying more than just this one because I've got some ideas of other projects that I want to do that may include this. So this is a little treasure chest. Got quite a lot of details on there. You've got the key hole, and then obviously this is painted to be like a distressed kind of look. But a cute thing is what's inside. It's full of golden bars. Look at that, isn't that so cute? So it's full of little golden bars, and each of the golden bars has its own little writings on there. I have no idea what it actually says, if it does say anything. Let me put it up there and see if we can get it focused. So that's on one side, and then is there anything? Yep, there's writing again on the opposite side as well. It's either writing or it's just like little stamps. Oh no, I can see the word gold. Fine gold. And then it says something underneath, and then 100 grams. So I'm not sure what the other bits say, but you know, you've got that information on there. And they're really cute. They're nice little gold bars. Look at that. So I've been looking on Temu for a similar one, but with gold coins, because I think that would work really good as well. So I've got a couple of ideas in mind of what I want to do with this. So we will have a look. How many of them do we get? 5, 5, 5, and 5. So you get 20 in there. And no one tells you when you're doing YouTube that the preparation and the cleanup is generally the majority of your time taken up. And then the rest of it, then the rest of it is majority editing and then a little bit of filming. Next up, it's not for this time of year, but I do like to do some little projects to the side for when it comes to the seasonal crafts that I'm going to be doing. So I've bought these. These are little snowflakes, and yep, there's another bag I've got to open. Little snowflake charms, which I think are really pretty. On one side, they have this holographic star kind of shape in the middle, and then it goes off to the outside for the snowflakes. Now, when you actually do the order and you're looking at it, you can't see the back side of them, and unfortunately, these don't have anything on the back side, they only have it on the front side. So the idea that I had for them is not something I'm going to be able to do, but I have got some other ideas for them. So you get quite a few in there. I'm not going to count them out, but there's plenty of them in there. Oh, don't know what that is, but that's not expected. There's a couple that I've not been cut all the way through. I think that's what the little lines are, and they're all falling. Snowflakes are about to fall. Snowflakes falling all around us, children playing. I like Christmas, so there's plenty of those. And like I said, on one side they have this extra colour, but even on the back side, you know, they still got that iridescent kind of look. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we've got. So last Christmas I did 12 days of Quillmas, which is basically quilling, which is long pieces of paper, and I made shapes and different things out of them. From what I recall, there was like bells, hollies, angels. I'll put a link to one of those up at the top, or a playlist if that's possible, and you can check that out. This year I'm thinking of doing something with resin, because that's my new sort of play hobby that I've picked up recently and I really like. So yeah, check that video out. The channel is full of different crafts. I cannot stay on one craft for too long. I get bored. So what I do is pick up a new craft, and then when that one gets bored, I might start another one, or I might go back to one that I've done in the past. But my hope for the majority of the crafts that I do is that I can bring them together like I did with the fibromyalgia awareness plaque. I'll put a link to that one up at the top as well, so you can check that out. But basically I started putting different aspects of crafting into one piece rather than it just being all about resin. I did some woodworking bits in there, I did some Cricut machine, I did some painting. So yeah, go and check that out. But I'm planning on doing more resin with other crafts as well. So there's snowflakes. Go on to the next one. This is the last one from the smaller bag that we've got, so let's get this bag open. Oh, I thought it was going to be something a bit more exciting than that, but it's copper wire. I've started doing some resin, as you all know, but I also want to incorporate that resin into some jewellery making as well, and I have already bought some jewellery crafting items, but I've never actually used them. But I like the idea of doing some wire wrapping around the resin pieces that I'm doing, and I've looked at this kind of stuff over the years and I thought it's quite interesting, but never actually did it myself. So I'll not be taking it up like it's one of the main hobbies, but it's something that I definitely want to involve the resin pieces in with some kind of jewellery wire making. So that will definitely be coming to the channel, and anything that I learn from doing that I will let you guys know. So that's the last one in the smaller bag. Let's get on the big one. It looks like we've got a few big items in this as well. And as people know with Temu, you don't remember what you've bought. Or I don't. Just going to put it off to one side and we'll see what else we've got. So I've basically opened the bag, put it behind me, and I'm just putting my hand in the bag and just pulling out the first thing that comes out of the bag. So obviously sparkling glitter. I love me a bit of glitter. Now I don't know if anybody knows why this is, but on these bags it's got like a little notch taken out as if you're supposed to rip it open, but I find that if you just open it at the top anyway, it's already open, so it doesn't really make much sense to me. So this one is purple in colour, exactly the same bottle and openings as was shown in the previous one. So you've got the spoon and the sprinkle. This one is a beautiful purple, but it's also iridescent at the same time. Really, really pretty. I like that one. It's always good to have some sparkly glitter in your projects. So with the seal on, nothing's coming out, so I'm going to store that one with all my other glitters. And just a little tip, if you have not opened them, what I like to do is actually store them like that, so I can actually see the colour of what glitter it is in the full bag. Other than that, what you can do is just pop a bit of glue on the top and then just sprinkle some of the glitter so that when you're looking in your box you can see what colours they are. Otherwise you just see this lid and you generally can't always see this lip once they're actually stood in a box. Next we have these. Now, not so much to do with crafts, but I do like to make my own t-shirts, especially if it's for a concert that I've got coming up and things like that. And what I like to do is buy an oversized shirt and pull it to one side and sort of tie it in a knot, if that makes sense, but it doesn't always look finished. So what I've done is bought these, and basically you gather all your material to one side, put it through here and then put it through there, and it just finishes the t-shirt off really nice. So one of these I've actually already took out the packaging I'm using, or I've used I should say, because I knew this one was coming separate to the bags that I've just opened up. So you do get one other one which is like a darker silver, so you get 5 in the pack, like a gold but not, you know, more of a matte kind of finish, as shiny gold, like a chrome silver, like a matte silver, and the other one was like a gunmetal silver. I will be showing those on a video that I've got coming up of how I made that t-shirt, so stick around for that one and I will be uploading that in the near future. This is a mixer. I'm going to be doing epoxy resin, like I said. That's going to be the next lot of videos that I'm starting to film, and I know for a fact I can't sit there and stir for the amount of time that it's asking me to stir it for. I think it's 3 minutes in total. So I've bought this. It's a smart mixer with a stand. I was going to go and buy one from a branded company, but I thought if people are starting out and they want to do it as cheap as possible, then why not see about opening this up and see what we think of it. So this is a smart mixer with stand. It's a built-in large capacity battery, free your hands, and on the box we've got the machine. There's a stand. You can actually buy this machine on its own, but I wanted the stand as well because I don't want to be pressing buttons for as long as it takes. So obviously I've got nothing to compare this to, But if it works well, and it works out much cheaper than the branded ones, then you know, I think it's a good thing to have. So that's your silicone mat. That's actually, yeah, that's actually glued in and attached, so you can't remove that. And then we get this spatula, but it's not flexible, it's not silicone, it's definitely plastic. And you've got your 2 paddles. These are hard plastic, so I don't know how that's going to fare up in the actual mixing process. And then we've got the control bit that sits in the top. So obviously we've got our controls there, the on and off, up and down. And your charger is there on that side. In the box we also get a charger which plugs in this bit here. Oh, you have to charge that as well as that. So that goes up there like that. I'll just lie it down on the desk so you can get an idea of what it looks like. I just don't have the room on my desk to be able to show you the full product. So I do apologise for that, but basically that's how it looks. That goes in there like that. Yep, it's on, so it's got charge. I'll even press go and see what happens. Oh, there we go, there's F1. So A is clockwise by the looks of it, and that's your speed. And DF is anti-clockwise. So hold it to turn it off. So let's turn that one on. So that one's saying 99%. Oh! Oh, it's the actual thing that goes up and down. It's the mechanism for turning it up and down. So you pull it up, you put your cup in, and then you send it back down like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. We will obviously try and test that out as time goes on. Take that out. Let's see how easy it is to take these off. Right, it just pulls out, so that's good. So that's our smart mixer with stand. I do this quite regular. I place orders, and then obviously Temu takes a while for it to come through, and you're ordering quite a lot in bulk, so you don't always remember what you've bought. So it's like a little Christmas day. Let's see what we've got. We've got a silicone mat, and it feels reasonable quality. It feels like the other Temu ones that I've had, but thicker. It does definitely feel thicker. And it's about the same size as the ones that I already use. So we get a silicone mat, some gloves, so obviously it's a kit. We get gloves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so there's 5 pairs of gloves. Oh, I think I remember what this is. I think it's like a sanding kit, but you get other bits with it. So this is a sanding block, and from what I remember, one side's 3000 grit and the other side's 600 grit. I can't remember for sure, so I will definitely have a read of the instructions. We get a sanding and polishing file. Let me see if that feels the same as that one. I'm trying not to look in the box, and then also realising that you can also see in the box. So there might not be much point in me not looking, but I like surprises, so I'll see what we get out of the box in a minute. Yeah, they feel similar. That one feels a little bit rougher, but that might be some bits that are on it. That one feels a little bit smoother than that one. But you've got these 2 like sanded and polishing blocks. We get a bunch of pipettes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, there's another one there, 10. So 10 pipettes. Pair of tweezers. As you know, I like me a good pair of tweezers, and these feel pretty good. They're not bendy in any way, and they've got a fine point but not a complete point. So it's a little flat on the end. always good to have another pair of tweezers. These ones do feel a bit more better quality than just the simple ones that I get from Temu. The only thing I'm feeling is that when they're closing together you can sort of hear a click, and it feels like it's one of those clicking against a little bump at the side. So how good they are at actually picking up delicate things, I don't know until we start trying, but they feel good quality. It's just that click. That's that. I've just realised what this is, but I'm going to open that last. Obviously you can see in the box what it is. It's a digital scales, which is something that I really need. Then we get these little mixing pots, which I have loads of them of. I started using these when I started getting into UV resin, so I definitely will use them, but I do prefer using the silicone ones. 24, so we get 24 cups. Then we get, now I've got heat protecting ones that I use for my fingers and thumb, which are these, and I call them finger doms. But I think these ones are going to be even more suited to be called the finger doms. Because they actually slide onto your finger like one of them things that I'm not going to say just in case my channel gets affected. Try and put that back. Never reuse the real things. So you get some of them. I don't know how many. Let's have a look. I'll count them at the end because... Oh, we get some more cups. I'll count them at the end because... Wait a minute, we've got more cups. It's like a pig in magician's hat. Some more cups. So you actually get quite a few there. So it's like 40 cups, I think, estimating. Then we get silicone cups, which are always useful. I don't know how good the measurements are. I will test that over time and obviously mention that in my future videos. But they say they're 100 millilitres. But to be honest, up to now I've not really measured anything to do with resin because I just play it by ear with UV resin. But with epoxy resin, I know it needs a definite measurement between each one, so I definitely will be using measurements more and more as time goes on. So yeah, we'll check those out on the measurements over time. And then we get a larger cup. This one feels a lot more rigid than these ones. These feel quite soft, where this one feels pretty hard. And this one says it's a cup ounce. Now in the UK we don't use the cups, so on the back it does have millilitres, which is really good. So that's 1/8 of a litre, that's 1/4 of a litre, so 250 mils. And these ones are 100 mils, I think I said. Yes, so the small one's 100 mils and the big one's 250 mils. So there's a few extra cups in there, that's really good. Then we get a bunch of these finger doms. Let's take them out and see how many we've got. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20 of those. So that'd be good to use with the gloves. Or if you're just finishing something off and don't want to put gloves back on, you forgot to keep them on for that last moment, as we all know we have them moments. Then we have, I'm just going to move this box to one side so I can empty some more of this out. We have some digital scales, which I'll look at in a minute. Lolly sticks for stirring always come in handy. Now I've got a few of these. I find them difficult to use. I've got them in different kits. This one feels a bit stiff and a bit wonky. Don't read into any of that I've just said. It just doesn't feel as sturdy as the other ones I've got. Feels a lot harder to open. And that feels very loose in its housing. But like I said, I generally use the electric one. So yeah, we've got one of those. I don't think it's as well made as the other ones I've got. It seems to be getting snagged on the actual screw bit. So I don't think this one's very good, but I might be wrong. We get some drill bits to go in there. There is some quite small ones in there as well, because I don't have many tiny ones. I do have a lot of the bigger ones that come with the machine I have, but the smaller ones I'm struggling to actually keep in the housing, so I might need to make some adjustments to be able to hold the thinner ones. So we get those. Then we get sandpaper. And I think what I did was ordered this kit as a starter kit, thinking, oh, it's got everything in it just to have extras and also for the sandpaper. And then I realised there was other things that was available which we've already opened, which was the sandpaper blocks and the sandpaper little holder machine, not a machine, the little holder where you velcro them things to the bottom. But I wanted some sandpaper to sand and polish up larger pieces, so this would be sat on the desk and then I'd rub whatever it is on top of it. And then obviously you can put water with these, which I've been told is the best way about sanding resin, so that you can keep the dust down. And there's different grits in there, so we're starting off with 600 grit. We've got a 4000, a 2000, a 240, 5000. It does actually say on there waterproof abrasive powder paper. 1000, 120, an 800. Don't know why they're all out of order. A 320 and a 3000. Silicone carbide waterproof paper. So I may be able to use some of these on one of the barrels, cut it down to size and use a machine to use it. So there are all the things in that up to now, but I'm interested in these little digital scales. So I'm just going to shift everything over. So professional digital scales, Mini. It says 2 times pieces, 3 volts, AAA batteries. So the batteries are on the back. Let me see if we've got any in there. Okay, so we need some batteries. Back soon. So you push it and they open. And they're on already working. So capacity is 500 grams, graduation is 0.01 grams, so that's how much it could be out for. It does have an instruction leaflet, but I'm really happy that it actually has it on the inside. It means I don't have to keep any packaging and we can just use what's actually on the inside of the lid. Operation: place scale on a horizontal flat surface, which I will have when I've got my levelling board on. Press on or off key, wait until the 0 is displayed, put the object on the weighing platform. Using the mode key you can switch between the units. On, wait till it goes to 0, and then the mode is up here on this side. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's a G, which is for grams. Carat, does that mean it weighs diamonds? Ounces. Ounces. T, I'm not sure what that is. Don't know what DWT is. I don't know what TI is, and I don't know what GN is. So I've got a bit of research to do on that. So I need to do some Googling of what them other modes mean. I'll just do that quick now so I can actually tell you guys what they actually mean, because I have no idea. So the first one we've got is OZT. OZT stands for troy ounce. It is a standard unit of measurement used worldwide for weighing and pricing precious metals like gold, silver and platinum. So that one is for your metals. The next one is DWT. People might already know this who's watching it, but I don't, so I'm telling you just in case you don't. So the abbreviation DWT most commonly refers to pennyweight, a unit of mass for precious metals or deadweight tonnage, a measure of a ship's carrying capacity. Okay, why would that be on a very small scale then? Oh, so it's used for jewellery and precious metals as well. This one is TL. The abbreviation TL most commonly stands for Teelöffel, a German for teaspoon, translating to roughly 5 mils of volume. Depending on the context, it can also refer to different volumes or scale definitions. So it's used in like cooking and baking, volumes in metric, weight mass in some Asian and South Asian markets. TL refers to a TAEL, a traditional unit of weight equal to approximately 37.5 to 50 grams. It's used in logistics and also science and industry. And then the next one is GN. Certainly not something that gets taught in my school. So for grains on pocket and jewellery scales, GN stands for grains, an imperial unit of mass commonly used for weighing gunpowder, arrows or precious gems. And then there's another one for gastronome, which is referring to catering and kitchen equipment, which isn't what we're using this for. But to be honest, I'm just going to be using probably the lowest one, which is ounces. So the ounces is for dry weight, and the OZL or OZL is for fluid ounces. So yeah, a very good little piece of equipment that I will be using regular to measure mica powders and things like that. So I'm really pleased I've got that to hand now. Right, so that's what you get in this box of goodies. There's quite a lot in there. I'm going to distribute all this to where I want it all to be stored. And we'll get on to the next item. Next we have a bag. Don't know what's in the bag. Let's have a look. Whoa! Sorry, I like glitter, but this looks gorgeous. This red glitter. It's a different bottle size than the others, but it is by the same company. That's this here. It's not in the same packaging, it's just in your normal regular packaging, but it is a bigger size and it really does look pretty. It looks like there might be a mixture of different sizes. Let's get a bit of scrap paper and we'll see what it comes out like. Yeah, it's different colours and different sizes. So you've got very fine glitter and obviously your bigger glitter on there as well. But look at that. Sorry, I'm getting excited over glitter, but it's very, 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 very pretty and a very good looking glitter right there. Definitely ready for my Christmas crafts. I just want to show you again how good that, actually no, I'm going to tip majority of this back into the bottle, if I can. My hands always want me to do something other than what my brain wants it. See, my mouth does it as well. My hands always want me to do something other than what my brain wants it to do. Let's tip that back in. And then anything else that's going to fall out, we'll put it on my desk and I'll show you my little hoover thing again. This hoover thing is something, I'm going to do a video of all the things that I use all the time that I've been really pleased with from Temu. If you think that'll be a good video and you want to see it, put it in the comments. I will put a compilation of all the items that I've unboxed but also use on a regular basis as a video if you want to see it, guys. But this is one of them for sure. It just clears the desk dead quick. It's pretty good. I really do use this regular, all the time. Right, so that's my red holographic glitter. Really like that red. Definitely a Christmassy colour, or Valentine's, or any kind of love. Yeah, really like that one. Let's see what's next. So next we have this collapsible telescopic bracket, and it's a phone holder that you can clamp to your desk. Now originally I got this for going away or travelling or bits and pieces like that, but I thought it'd also come really useful for extra camera whilst I'm filming. So you've got this end, if I can get it open, there we go. It's a bit stiff. So we've got that end which houses your phone, mobile phone. This bit flips out and that houses your phone. I'm not sure if that's going to be big enough for my phone. I've got an Ultra, so it might not be wide enough for that, but we'll see. This folds backwards. It's on charge at the minute, that's why I'm not showing you. It's on charge at the minute. So that folds backwards and forwards, gives you the rotation that way as well. But the cool bit is that it can clamp to your desk. So this bit that pulls out at the bottom, you pull that out, and the difficulty for me, because I struggle with my hands, but that attaches to your desk, and then you can move this bit around to have horizontal or vertical. I think this is a really good start off for people who are starting off with TikTok or YouTube or anything like that. It's a cool little device that you can basically take anywhere you want to. You could also use it for actually holding your camera with your hands rather than attaching to the desk. You can't obviously have it balanced on a desk because the weight of your phone and the actual weight of the device will pull it over. But you could easily use it to sort of like a selfie stick, only not like a big long one. But yeah, it's something that you can clip to your desk. So if you're just doing a bit of crafting and you haven't got a lot of room and you want to film on your phone, or you want an extra camera, which is probably what I'm going to end up using it for. I'm probably going to have it off to the side here, facing that way, so that I can film from a different angle as well, of different crafts. So I can do recordings on my phone, I can do recordings on the actual cameras like I do now. So yeah, it's a cute, cool little device, contraption thing, and it's nice and compact. You do get the Allen key, Allen wrench with it, and this little holder which attaches to the bottom here, which I don't think I'm going to be using this, which is why I'm not attaching it. But yeah, definitely something that is a starter kit for someone who is filming, just to keep your filming nice and level. Once you've actually got this set up on your desk, it's definitely worth having a go. If I can't find this, again, it's with the same with all the products in this video, if I can't find the exact same one on Temu, I will post something very similar available on Amazon, because I know Temu you can't get in every country. So I will put a link on for all these unboxings on Amazon as well as Temu. So that's that one. Let's see what else we've got. Next we have some dried pressed flowers. Obviously I'm going to do more with resin now, and I know people like these floral designs. So I thought it'd be a good idea to order some more flowers. But I cannot remember if these are the dried ones or if they are paper ones, and they're in a sealed packet, which I don't really want to open right now, but for you guys I will. Let's just get one out with a pair of these tweezers, because there's one that's loose there anyway. And it's going to be the one that goes further and further away, so I'm just going to grab the closest. Oh, they feel paper thin. Honestly, I can't tell because my fingers don't feel very well. They sound tissue paperish, so I can't be sure, but Like I said, I will be putting links in the description if they are available. I noticed that with Temu, last time I did an unboxing, there was a lot of the haul that wasn't available, or they'd stopped selling it, or they ran out of stock, something like that. So anything that is still in stock, I will put a post. I will put a post in there. But if they are not available, I will try my best to find something similar on Amazon or elsewhere on the web. We have some extra things for jewellery. So obviously I want to be making some resin jewellery. It won't be the only thing I make out of resin. I've got lots of ideas of what I want to actually do. But I wanted some better earrings, earring backs, whatever you want to call it, the bit that goes through your ears. And I wasn't happy with what actually come in the kit, because if you've spent a lot of effort on the actual earring, you want to be able to put something decent in your ears. So I know it's not full silver, but these are silver plated, just so it stops any issues with the metal that's coming from within your ear. But I also wanted something a bit more secure, which is why I ordered these lever back ones. Over time I will definitely be looking around at other options that are available, but they open up and they actually secure better, in my opinion, around your ear. So there's them lever back ones. They're like a funny shaped one, and then you've got the rounded one, and then there's a couple of jump rings in there, and then the normal, I call them fish hook ones. I'm not sure if there's an actual name for them, but I call it fish hook. Which are them ones? I'll say that this silver sterling. So yeah, just to add a bit more quality to the earrings rather than being your general ones that you get out of the kit. So yep, they'll be going with my jewellery things. I have bought some hotfix tape. Now, you might remember, or it's quite a while ago, it's definitely over a year ago. I'll link the video above, but I made a Michael Jackson Bad t-shirt out of flat back rhinestones, hotfix rhinestones, and I had to replace each individual one on there and then heat it to secure it, then put more on and then heat it to secure it. With this, you can actually do the design on this via either a stencil, or you can obviously put and place on one by one if that's what you want to do. But I know there's a way that you can do stencil with rhinestones, and then you use this to actually transfer it to whatever garment you're having. So if it's a t-shirt, obviously you flip it over, you attach it, and then you use your Cricut machine, your Cricut heater, or an iron, depending on what you've got available to you, and you can stick it from this. Obviously it's only so wide, but I can't see me using anything as wide as this. So just some extra, instead of using HTV, if you're using actual rhinestones, this is definitely a better option, a better way to go to actually get it lined up as well onto your t-shirt. So this is high heat resistant hotfix tape, and it's like a transfer tape. I won't know how good it is until I use it, and I've not got no projects coming up very soon. I will have some in the future. I've got a couple of ideas that I need to do for a concert coming up, so we'll be filming that over the next few months, and this will make an appearance in that. Until then, this is going to be at the back of my craft project box. Yes, I have a box ready to do the next lots of projects, but this will be towards the back, but it will be making an appearance in an upcoming video. But like I said, I've linked the video that I did with the hotfix rhinestones to the top, where I made that bad t-shirt for the Michael Jackson tribute concert that I went to. So please check that out. It was quite a labour of love, but it did look absolutely fantastic when it was done. Next we have, this is quite a heavy one for what it is. Don't know what it is yet. Let's get it open. It looks like resin to me. We're getting some little resin tops. Have I bought some epoxy? I have. So this is epoxy resin A and epoxy resin B. Now I am one of those people who like buying branded stuff and off-branded stuff just to see if there's any actual difference. So obviously I'll be doing some testing coming up about which resin is better than other ones in my opinion, whether there's a smell to them, whether they actually cure well or not, things like that. But I've not had a lot of experience in epoxy resin. So if you're a beginner like me and you want to see what happens with these different resins that I'm going to be trying, click like and subscribe and hit that notification button, and then any videos coming up that involve experimenting with different epoxy resins, you'll be able to have a look on there and see what is available. So yeah, you get 2.2 parts. It's a 1-to-1 resin, 250 ml in each of these, which is 8.45 ounces. It says it's self-leveling, anti-yellowing, low odour and no bubbles, and it does look pretty clear in there. A couple of bubbles, but yeah, possibly a good mix, but we will see that as and when I start doing my projects. So for the Hot Fix rhinestones, I've only ever used the official Hot Fix rhinestones, and I've seen these on there. These are flat back, they're all the same size, but I just thought it'd be a good idea to have some other colour options. I think these are flat back. I'm just double checking because I did order something else as well. No, these are not flat back. Right, these are not for Hot Fix. Right, let's start that bit again. So these are little diamantes, coloured diamantes for me to put in the projects that I've got coming up, and I really like them white ones. A bit boring, but I really like the white ones. And there's this blue one that's peeking out as well. I really like them. So there's lots of different colours there. They're not the same colour. I thought they was going to be the same colour. We got a stack of different blues. There's only one purple, unfortunately, but we do have some pinks. We have your black. They're sort of holographic. Diamonds is there. We've got some greens. We've got some reds, which can go, I suppose, with the pinks. And then we've got some neutrals, so like a peachy, an orangey, and a brownie. Don't eat them, guys. But in this brown, there's a lot of greens and blues as well, like teal colours, which is quite interesting. So yeah, plenty of different diamonds is there, and I love a bit of sparkle, so these will definitely come in useful for when I'm doing up and coming projects. Right, I'll get them away and we'll see what's next. Next, feels like wire. Yeah, wire. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be doing some jewellery wrapping, and I wanted to actually use some I wanted to use some wire that is actually quite a thick gauge to make something out of the actual wire rather than wrapping something around. So I want to do a bit of jewellery making, but I'm not going into it in too much detail. I don't think my hands could cope with doing all the twisting and turning. But I do want to incorporate it into a couple of my ideas and my projects, so I'm definitely going to be using this. This is very thick gauge wire, so that'll be making an appearance in some videos, but maybe not straight away. We'll see what kind of things I've got in mind to do next, see what takes my fancy. Next we have a little mini vise. I'm constantly trying to hold things and struggling to hold things. So this is a little mini vise that you can put on your desk. Now I do have a small plastic one that I use quite often. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. So obviously this is a metal one, not a plastic one, which will hold up in, when I'm using the machine. It's going to be easier than using the plastic one. The plastic one I generally use as well to sort of hold the vise instead of holding the piece that I'm working on, because it's easier for me to hold. Obviously this one will be on your desk, so you've got that open there, and then this one opens and closes for the vise to actually hold your piece in place while you're working on that. Next we have some lovely little holographic hearts. Really pretty. So there's some hollow ones without the middle, obviously, because that's what hollow means. So yeah, you've got the external part of the heart and the mini part of the heart separate. Holographic silver, but lots of rainbow colours in there. So sometimes it just means instead of using glitter all the time, you can use shaped glitter, which is basically what this is. And I just think it gives a bit of a different look when you use shapes in glitter. It can be used for different themes, and can be used for different themes. So straightforward with that one. Let's see what's next. Now this one would be interesting, and I think I want to do a test with all these different powders. I'm not sure how to go about it yet. I've done the hearts for when I first started the epoxy. No, when I first started the UV, but doing the epoxy, I don't really want to do the same thing. I want to do something different to the hearts. So these are thermochromic powder, and I have a green, a blue, no that's not blue, a green, a purple, another purple but it's sort of lighter in colour, like a teal colour, and an orangey colour. Instructions are on a sticker. Okay. Thermochromatic powder, is that how you say it? Thermochromatic powder is suitable for a variety of general arts and craft projects, including resin stroke epoxy, which may sometimes fail. That's nice to know. Painting, jewellery making, temperature sensitive cups, wax or mood rings. Easy to use. Mix the pigment powder with a clear base. It is recommended to start by adding a small amount of powder and then gradually add more until the desired colour is achieved. Please be patient during the process. They know me well. Yeah, I don't have a lot of patience. Well, I don't think I've got a lot of patience, but people who see my channel state that I do have a lot of patience. I think I have a lot of patience in certain areas. So, especially something that I'm passionate about or something that I really enjoy. So things like arts and crafts, yes, I can be very patient with. Parenting, I can be very patient with, and trust me, my two push me. So I'm patient most of the time, probably 99% of the time. And then obviously when I become impatient, that's when the children know that they're not to step over that mark, let's just say. Otherwise they'll hear mummy shouting. So we've got it in, that says violet. That just says purple. Orange. Oh wait, my eyes are not reading properly here. So it tells you what they turn into when they're hot. So violet to blue. My eyes are not very good. Purple to, I think that says pinkish. Purple to pinkish. Orange to yellow. Stay still. Cyan to, does that say cyan? Cyan to greeny blue, I think that says, but it's a very neon green. So I don't know where the cyans come from. This looks more... This one says... What does it say? Dark green to lime. Well, we won't know until we try them, so I'll be using these on some things that I want where you can change the colour. I would have liked it one to be red, so we can get some like horror kind of heated cups or something like that with it. But I've got things in mind of what we might be able to do. So yeah, definitely be working with these. None of the powders come out. Do they have a seal on them? Oh, they come in a... That's good to know. They come with a little flip lid, and then there's a little hole in the middle for you to... So it reseals itself so none of the powder actually escapes. So that's really good thoughts of them doing that. So that's a thermocratic powder, and then you get two of these little applicators. These are that kind of foam one rather than the spongy one. Trying to get a definite feel for what it is. Yeah, the more of the foamy, rubbery type rather than the ones with the sponge in them. Then you get the brush to brush off the powders as well. So I'm going to actually keep all that in the same bag for now, because I've got no other powders at the minute that do the same job, and I'd like to keep them separate so I know exactly where they are and what they're doing. Right, I really need to start checking my orders. I've got some more sanding stuff. I won't go through these because it's basically the same as what I've already opened with this pack. I do like these though, which is basically you've got one of these things on each side, so if you just wanted to go and take something elsewhere in the garden maybe to sand it down, you can do it with one of these rather than taking a full kit out with you. So yeah, that's that'll be put to one side for now. This one is still sanding paper, but I got this on a roll because this little thing that I got, I was hoping that this would fit onto, but obviously this is a lot thicker, a lot wider. I could just cut it down vertically once I've got it. Can't use this unfortunately on the Velcro one because this hasn't got the Velcro backing. I'm not even sure what grit this is. Let's have a look. I have no idea what grit it is. So it is a 1000, this one. But I thought I could just use this either to cover the drums on my works tool, but it's similar to like a Dremel. But also I could use it on this little contraption. Yeah, it's definitely 3D printed. It's quite thick stuff. I think you're supposed to use it on like a proper sander. Yeah, so you get 2 strips out of this. That's how you do it. Possibly might have it right there. If I haven't, let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if that's actually going to hurt my hands all the time. Anyway, it's not like I've got something definite to grab hold onto. Whereas the Velcro one that I opened earlier is definitely a better one for people who struggle holding things with their hands. But we've got it, and I will use it. It's probably going to be one of those that I use for certain projects, and I'll have it available when I need it rather than having to wait for something that I need. But for now, it's I've definitely spent too much on sanding, and that's a me problem where I need to check out what's in the basket first before I actually buy. Now this is one where I've got fooled on size, and I generally pretty good with figuring out what is miniature and what is not on Temu now. But obviously these are a lot smaller than what I wanted. But I'll still use them. It's not something that I'm not going to use, but I'll just use it not for the intended purpose. So these are tiny little spikes that I was hoping to put on some clothing, but obviously they're a lot smaller than what I was expecting. So that's the largest one. And you get them in two colours. You get them in the silvery colour and a kind of gunmetal silver black colour. So that's the largest one that I've just shown you. The smallest one, if I can actually get one out, and then if I can actually stand it up on my finger for you. So that's the smallest one. It actually looks more like a splinter. Wait a minute, let me get it in view. There you go. Move that. So the little spikes. And I really should have realised that it was under the nail art section. Did that go in? No. It was under the nail art section, so obviously they're not going to be too big. But I definitely will use it, probably in some of the gothic kind of style resin pieces that I'm going to be doing pretty soon. So there's 3 different sizes, 1, 2 and 3, and 2 different colours. So these are similar to the shells that I looked at. I think they was actually under the same group that I was ordering them from. And these are obviously little spiders, and I think they're really cute. I don't like spiders, but I like how they look as an ornamental thing on projects. So if I get one of these out, you've got like, I'm just trying to see if they're not jewels. So this looks like that like chameleon powder that you get on there. And then on top of that, there is some details from glitter in different sizes. So you've got like a larger glitter here, and then a smaller glitter. Let's move that in so you can actually see it. So definitely can be using these up until Halloween or any other spooky thing that I've got going on, but adds a bit of pop of a colour instead of just being black. You just can't see how sparkly they actually are. There we go, it's better, I think. So they're definitely a sparkle and the holographic kind of chameleon powder look on there. And you get plenty of them in there. I would say, let's tell you what, let's just count them. Oh, they don't sort of look at these before they send them off, because they've just seen a big bit of plastic, yeah. So you can see where the powder's been sprayed on or something. But, you know, there's no problems with the actual product. It's just weird having a bit of extra there that we don't need. So we have, tell you what, let's do it like this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 32. 32. So next we have some more charms by the feel of it, or the sound of it I should say. I like getting them in these little trays because you can keep everything together that you've got. Oh, are these crosses? Yeah, these are crosses. Are there any difference? So that's number 3. Are they all the same? In different sizes. Right, let's not get me mixed up. So that's from number 1. That's from number 2. That's from number 3. That's from number 4. That's from number 5. And that's from number 6. So there's different styles of crosses, which is good because I like to use different styles, but them two look the same to me. So there's not 6 different types, there's 3, because that one and that one are the same. That one and that one is the same, and them two are the same. I mean, you could make this as simple as you wanted to. You could literally put a stud backing on the back of these and just use them as, you know, studs for earrings, but I don't want to do that. I want to use them in a project. So you do only get 3 styles, not 6, but they are very pretty styles. So this one is a solid block kind of cross with glitter, not glitter, with like rhinestones on each end. So you've got one at the top, one on each end here, one in the middle and one at the bottom. Show you on both cameras just in case it's showing better on one than the other. That's the first one. And the second one's more of an ornate kind of one which is a bit more gothic-y maybe. It's got like a love heart in the middle, and then it's got these extra details on the side here and here, and that's a love heart there, and then at the top it's got a flat piece that actually looks more like a diamante. Actually, it's got that on all 4, so there's one there in the middle, one in the middle there, and one just at the bottom there. And then obviously you've got the nice ornate details around it. And then on the third one, this is definitely more of a delicate, simple design. I'm trying to see if there's actual rhinestones on this one or whether it's just the way the metal's cut. I can't tell. It's one I'm going to have to get my daughter to look at in a bit. I've got a feeling, because of the way I can sort of feel with the tweezers, that they are rhinestones, but I may be wrong. But if it is rhinestones, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rhinestones in there, and then the ornate kind of look as well. Because you can sort of see the prongs of where it actually hold the rhinestone in, but I don't know whether it's actually a decorative thing or whether it is actually holding a rhinestone in, because you can see that changing colour, but I know you can also get that just from the metal work being done. So I get 3 different styles there. Next we have some powder, so I might not need them scissors just yet then. Luminous powder. I know I've shown you at the beginning of this video that I got some coloured luminous powder. This one's a blue-green, like your general normal luminous powders. But I was also thinking whether it can be mixed with the other colours, because this looks a lot whiter, just to see if I can get some different effects. I wonder if this has that nice little lid on it, like the other ones did. No, this is just straight off a seal. So if you want to see the illumination kind of powders in a project, first of all you need to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure that you're able to get my notifications when I get new videos uploaded. But also you need to drop something in the comments and give me an idea of what you'd actually like me to do with these luminous powders. If there is a mould that you've actually seen me unbox on the channel, let me know. If there's any charms, give me some ideas. I'll play about with what you want to see. I do have my own ideas obviously, but if there's something that a lot of people like the idea of, then I will lean towards that, let's just say. Right, so that's the luminous powder. Next we have a big bag of diamonds. If only, eh? So this is a bag of mixed coloured gems that I know I will use in lots of different crafts. So we've got loads of different colours there, lots of different sizes and lots of different colours. I'm just going to get a couple out on my hands to give you an idea of shapes and size. I think the shape is all the same, which is like the round, brilliant cut kind of look. So they're not as sparkly as the other ones that I grouped earlier. But there's some really pretty colours. There's like a lilac there, like a pale pink, a bit of a darker pink there, green, red, yellow, and clear. Are you clear? Can't tell if it's pink because my hand's behind it. I'll put them on the desk in a minute. That's definitely a clear. And then we've got these blues. Them blues are actually really nice. Let's put them on the desk, see if they look any different. Lots of lovely little colours there. I don't know whether I'll actually categorise them into colour yet or not. I'm not sure. But for now, until I actually do a project and I know what I'm using them for. Because these type of things I see, like I haven't got an idea straight off of what I'm going to be doing with these, but I know that eventually I'll either come up with an idea and need it straight away, or want it straight away, or it'll inspire me to make a video incorporating these, or I might be halfway through a project and go, it really could do with something like such a thing, in this case gems or sparkles or whatever. Like for example, I've just got the idea now that we could use these alongside the treasure chest that we done earlier. You know, that's just an idea, it's just popped into my head right now. So sometimes it looks like I'm buying things that I don't need, which I don't. These are things that I want because I want to do different crafts and I want to show you what is available to do. But it does give me ideas whilst I'm playing about with them, what I can actually make with them. When I see them on a screen, it's not the same as having them in person. Or like I'm messing about now trying to pick these up and get an idea of how they'll actually work and fall and move. Especially when we're coming to do projects, I want to be able to put them in the right place at the right time. Yeah, there's loads and loads in there. There's some aquamarine kind of coloured ones as well, which is really pretty. So yeah, there's plenty in here that I will use. I'll probably end up using the smaller ones rather than the bigger ones. Oh, look at that one. That's really pretty. This lilac-y. It's like a very pale amethyst. That one is really nice and pretty. So even like that one's the same colour but smaller. You can see the difference in the saturation of colour. And that's why I like showing these on video for you, because as a photograph on a website, you can't really tell. I mean, obviously it's better having them in person, but if you see them on a video, it's probably the next best thing that you're going to get to actually having them there yourself. But it's much better than having a photograph. Look at all the small ones on the back. So sadly we're on the last packet, but at least we're leaving it with love. So these are just basic love heart embellishments. I can't even get the thing open. There we go. We've got a silver backing and like a ruby red. Like ruby red in colour. There's not much I can say about these apart from they are flat back and they have a very nice juicy kind of red. Sort of reminds me of raspberry jello or jello. So we're leaving it with love on there. Please make sure you love this video by liking it and subscribing to my channel. There's going to be plenty and plenty of these being featured over future videos, especially now I'm getting involved with epoxy resin. But as always, I'll be crafting lots of different ways and showing you the projects that I'm making. So I thank everyone for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed unboxing these with me, and it gives you some ideas and inspirations of things that you may want to do yourself. You may have jumped up with an idea in your head and thought, oh, that'll look good doing this or whatever. If you're a crafter yourself, then hopefully that's give you a bit of inspiration and you may want to buy some of these products. If not, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're not a crafter but you like watching crafty content, send me a message, send me a comment of anything that you're interested in watching, and I will see if I can turn that into a project. Right, as for always, thank you very much for watching. I really truly appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!